Who's ready to take some names?
Hey guys, Lucky here from Aztech, and I'm happy to say that the day has finally come. After years and years of waiting, us Raynor mains have finally gotten the rework that we've been wanting for so long. Raynor's always been one of my favorite heroes from back in the day, but unfortunately with the release of some heroes, like a lot of the Overwatch heroes, he just got forced out of the meta since he was so easily dived. He also had very low base HP at 1300. And with no escapes, his heal was pretty unreliable since it was passive. He just couldn't survive in the meta, and he really hasn't been seen in any kind of pro play for about 2 years or so. And Blizzard have said from back then that they wanted to rework him, but then after years of waiting, we really didn't know when it was going to come, and it seems like it's eventually came, so let's get right into it. And I'm really happy they brought out these new skins because I actually didn't like any of Raynor's old skins. So these new ghostly Road Raider ones, or the Road Raider skins, they're really awesome. So let's get right into try mode. I wanted to also quickly go over some of I'll go over the talents when we get into try mode, but just going over his base stats. They've increased his health, which is actually a huge deal, from 1300 to 1450. So that's about probably about an 11 to 12% health increase, which is huge. His health regen went up about 10%. His basic attack damage went down by 30, from 122 to 92. But there is a reason for that. That's because of his new passive, which I'll get into in a second. His basic attack range has gone up to 6.5, which is actually what it was before, but they removed like his basic attack range passive. And gave him an actual passive. But one thing to note is even though they reduced the basic attack damage by 30, they increased the scaling from 4 to 5%. So they're really... Raynor was always a really good scaler, but it seems like they really wanted to reinforce the hyper carry scaling with the 5% scaling on the auto attacks. To get in the passive and why they probably reduce his damage by 30%, 30 base damage is... give him some pepper. This is really cool. Every 4th basic attack splashes in a small area and deals 125% more damage to the main target. So let me just go 2-4 autos here. Yeah, see? It's like a 60 with a big crit. Makes it a nice animation and pretty interesting, to be honest. And his Q is pretty much the same, except it slows now for 20%, which is actually really nice. Since at level 1 you now get Executioner, which gives you 30% damage to stun or slow targets. So now it's really nice that you can basically proc that yourself. You can have the 20% slow and get ace in the hole. W, I'm pretty sure, is still the same. Oh, actually, except that casting it resets his basic attack cooldown. So let me just try this out quickly. As you see, I quickly double autoed there with the Inspire. That's actually quite nice, especially working with stacking up his passive really fast. His E, I think it's now, I'm pretty sure it's activatable now, yeah, since it has a mana cost, right? So it's now activatable and it heals over 1 second. I think it used to heal over a longer period of time, maybe like 2 seconds, and his basic attacks lower the cooldown by 0.5 doubled against heroes, so I guess 1 second versus heroes. Yeah, that's really nice. I missed a few there, but you know. And his heroics. We'll get into the heroics at level 10, but quickly over the passives. Ace in the hole, 30%. That's Executioner, basically. 30% to stun and slow targets. But now I guess that includes spells as well, so your Q, your ults, if you take those. Exterminator, basic attacks deal 50% more damage to minions, mercs, and monsters. Increased to 100% while Inspire's active. This might be alright, I'm not too sure, but for me personally, this stacking quest looks alright, but I just think the numbers are too low, like 0.75, this is 125%, right? So, and this, you only get 0.75 every 4 autos, so basically, you'd have to auto 400 times to get 75% damage bonus, which would put this at 200%, which is still worse than ace in the hole. And that just takes, I feel like that takes way too long to ramp up. Maybe if this was like 1% or 1.25 or 1.5, it might be better, but right now I think the number's too low for it to be good. Exterminator seems alright, but ace in the hole, 30% more damage to stun or slow targets, especially since you can proc it yourself. I think this will be the best choice. Why did I not set level to 30? Alright, we'll put it 30. So we'll go with Ace in the hole.
Choose a talent.
And let me just quickly try this out as well. Oh yeah, wait, so even the Q before I think he even had a slow or something on him, it gets the 30% damage as well, since it has a slow on it. So that's pretty nice to know. Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, cool. Fight or Flight, level 4 talents. Reduce Adrenaline Rush cooldown by 10 seconds, casting is 25 armor. Give him some Pepper basic attack heal, and Behemoth armor, flat health. This one's basically like the old Raynor. I think it was like a level 7 or 4 talent, but it was really good, but you couldn't take it before because it was on the same tier as some other really necessary damage talents. Now this is all a defensive tier, so you have the leech from sustaining rounds, you have the health from Behemoth armor.
Time to man up.
When I took a look at this on the beta, from first looks, I thought Behemoth armor is going to be amazing into... Behemoth armor is going to be really great into burst, because the 200 flat health when you have the 1300 base HP is actually quite a lot, and you're going to be stacking Give Him Some Pepper quite a lot over the course of the game, so that's going to end up giving you a lot of flat HP, which is going to be really, really nice, especially since you get this level 4. 250 base health is actually a lot of health, so that's going to help with your overall survivability. I think sustaining rounds will overtake it if you're versing more of a sustained damage team, since it is 6% health, actually is quite a lot, but you'd have to proc this about 3-4 times in a team fight for it to get decent value, more than having a Behemoth armor, for example, or Fight or Flight. Fight or Flight kind of has the same thing where it's good against burst, same as Behemoth armor to some extent. So that actually could be really nice. These are probably the 2 burst prevention ones, and I'd say sustaining rounds is if you're bursting sustained damage for sure. But for now, I was really interested in Behemoth armor, so I'll just grab this.
Choose a talent.
And it's something that I think I'll probably be grabbing most of the time. It's because the flat health really early is just going to be really nice surviving early on. Fuel the Rush. While Inspires actively increases general rush cooldown reduction from basic attacks by 200. This is going to be really nice if you picked up previously Fight or Flight, since you're going to be having that heal up way more often whenever you use Inspire. That's actually going to be quite nice. Give him some Pepper AoE, and enemies are slowed by 10% for 3 seconds, and Empower Penetrating Shot. I don't really think you're going to be playing Raynor as a penetrating shot build. For sure, you're going to be wanting to play him for a more auto attack focused build, and this talent is really awesome. Not only does it give you more AoE with your passive, which is going to give you more wave clear or more splash onto more heroes in a team fight, but it also slows, and that's a really crucial part of it, because that is going to proc your Ace in the Hole, or basically Executioner, and basically allow you to reapply your own Executioner and always have a 10% slow, so you can catch up to enemies, since you don't really have amazing mobility. So that's going to be awesome for kiting, chasing, and applying Executioner. So I think that is going to be the best pick pretty much on that tier for sure. Even though the other ones still do look, at least Fuel the Rush looks kind of interesting if you were going an Adrenaline Rush build. Level 10. Not really going to go over Hyperion, because it's the exact same, I think. I don't even think they changed the numbers at all. What I want to go over is Raynor's Raider. So I'll select it here. Basically, you get a Raider, and it follows you around. And this has 100% uptime. Except for if it dies, you can resummon it on a 45-second cooldown. It doesn't have a mana cost. Actually, it respawns automatically, so I don't even think you need to cast it. You just press the R if you want to target a specific person. It actually does a lot of damage, man. But what's cool about it is, yeah, it's permanent, so it's basically just like more passive damage that you have. And yeah, it regenerates health outside of combat if he hasn't been damaged in 4 seconds. Could be quite annoying if it could be focused down easily. I'm not sure. Does it say how much health it has? Oh, 3,000. That's actually a decent amount of health, given that Raynor has 5,000, has 3,000 health. It's actually quite tanky, so that's actually quite nice. In terms of choosing it versus Hyperion, I still think Hyperion's still always going to be good when you're pushing with an objective, for example. Like, it was always really good for that. And it was picked pretty much all the time since Raynor's Raider was always quite bad. But now I think if you want to be more of a late game scaler, like solo carry, do a lot of damage, go the Raider. If you're playing an objective heavy map where you can push with like a big boss or a big, like basically like a boss or something, or group up with the whole team, nothing's really going to beat Hyperion just because it's always been really amazing at that. It's going to force everyone, it lasts for 12 seconds, so it's going to force everyone off that 12 seconds, or if someone forces a team fight onto you, it's really hard to fight into a Hyperion because even though it doesn't really hit for too much, it's just constant damage that when over that 12 seconds, all 5 people are going to be taking damage from it. It ends up being quite a lot. But for now, I'm going to stick with Raynor's Raider. Getting to the next tier, debilitating rounds. Another Q talent, cooldown, yeah. So it decreases the cooldown of your Q by 3 seconds and the slow to 20 seconds when your W is active. Seems alright on paper, but like I said before, you're not playing Raynor to go a Q build, so I don't think it's going to be the pick. Rallying Cry looks quite nice, increase the duration of Inspire by 1 second, and gives nearby other heroes 10% move speed and attack speed for its duration. This could be really nice when paired with some of the other Inspire talents. I'll check out the last talent. Giddy Up, 10% move speed while mounted and unmounted, and Inspire grants 10% more move speed. When I took a look at these on beta, I thought Giddy Up was going to be the best pick, just because 10% permanent move speed unmounted, that's huge. And even when mounted, it's just really nice getting to objectives. Kiting, you have your 10% slow as well, so kiting is going to be really awesome. And it gives you 10% more speed with Inspire as well, so this is going to give 30-20, I think. So you're going to have 30% move speed while this is up, that's actually huge. And even though the Rallying Cry looks quite nice with some of the other Inspire talents, just having the... it only buffs you inside that 5-second Inspire window. Unfortunately the Radar died. Yeah, Giddy Up you're going to have all the time, so that's why I think it's going to be the best. Getting into 16. Penetrating round, another Q talent, increase the damage by 50% and heal for 100% of damage deals to heroes. Actually sounds quite nice, especially with if you're taking other Q talents, but I don't think you're playing for a Q build, as I said before, and I don't think you have double Q anymore. Like, you can't go QQ like you could before with the 2 charges. So if you miss a Q and you're going Q build, a lot of your damage is going to basically be gone. But it still looks alright. Give him more general rush healing by 50% on Spies active, gain 1 basic attack range. Seems alright, but if you take the other Inspire talents, like 1 basic attack range actually pretty good. General healing is also quite nice. Why don't I keep slurring, man? That's annoying. But yeah, it looks alright. Bounty Hunter, 40-second cooldown, and yeah, so 40-second cooldown. When you activate, give him some pepper, so I guess this gives your D an activatable effect. I think it makes your next auto attack double apply it. So let's try it out. Yeah, so it makes your next auto automatically apply the passive. So you can have the passive proc from your 4 autos naturally, and then use your D to get another one. And it also gives 5 armor and 3% max health as damage, which is really, really good. And I think this is going to be the pick most of the time. Not only is it giving you a lot more damage to your autos, it gives you more tankiness as well. So this basically does everything. Makes you tankier, makes you do more damage, and you get to choose when you apply your passive with the every 40 seconds with giving some pepper. So look, I can put this come off the cooldown. I think I did it wrong, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So I think this is going to be the best pick. Level 20. When I looked at level 20 on beta, I was really torn over what was going to be the best, because to be honest, they all looked so amazing. Before with old Raynor, everything except for Nexus Frenzy was really lackluster, so you actually picked Nexus Frenzy 90% of the time, or 99% of the time. In fact, I don't think I ever took a talent other than Nexus Frenzy just because it was so good with Raynor's kit. But this time, it actually looks like it looked like everything was amazing. Dustwing doubles the damage, health, and leash range of Raynor's Raider by 100%. And when it dies, you get Inspire and Adrenaline Rush for free, activated. And they don't go on cooldown, I don't think. It already does quite a lot of damage, so buffing everything by 100% is actually huge. And 3,200 health, if you take it, it's going to have more health than you, so it's going to be very tanky, do a lot of damage. This is going to be a really great talent for level 20 if you go Raiders. Weak spot acquired.
That was rather entertaining.
Enemies that get hit by Give 'em Some Pepper, they lose 25 armor for 2 seconds, sorry. So it's not going to have 100% uptime, I don't think, but it's going to have really high uptime, especially with the level 16 trait where you can reapply your D. So that's actually going to be quite nice. 25 armor, shred, but gives it to your whole team as well. So that's really good. One of my favorites, since I love going auto attack builds on Raynor, like basically pure auto hyperscaler, execute. You get a flat 20% attack speed, and you also have 25% increased basic attack damage against targets below 50% health. So let me just take this. I'm just getting passive damage even though he's not slowed right now. And 20% increased attack speed all the time, that's going to be adding a lot of damage to your basic attacks. I think possibly Dustwing could be better if you're going Raynor's Raiders in terms of overall DPS. I'm not 100% sure, but I never really liked pet classes. I prefer all the damage coming out of me personally and me being able to personally control it. That's why I probably prefer Execute. I'll go over the Hyperion talent as well, quickly, because this actually looked really good to me as well in beta if you opt in for Hyperion over Raynor's Raiders. So, Give 'em Some Pepper, which is your passive, is going to reduce the cooldown of Hyperion by 5 seconds. Already sounds awesome. But if the primary target is a hero, and Inspire grants Unstoppable for 2 seconds. That's another huge deal. Getting Unstoppable for 2 seconds is really big. If you opted in for Hyperion and at level 20, you take this talent, all of a sudden you're not as big of a kill target or against a lot of comps. A lot of comps these days are running like one-shot combo kill comps with like Mirrored and that kind of stuff. They leap on you, stun you, you get caught out of position, you die in a CC or you die in a CC chain. What's going to be really awesome is if you have Unstoppable every 12 seconds for 2 seconds. So you get leapt on, or they can't really leap on you anymore since you just, someone leaps on you, you press your W, you get Unstoppable for 2 seconds and you just run away since you're so fast as well. Not only that, you're going to be reducing the cooldown of Hyperion by a lot, and having a low cooldown Hyperion is going to be really awesome in team fights and sieging, that kind of stuff. But I think the Unstoppable is really great. But yeah, overall that covers all the talents. I'm thinking that while Raynor is still immobile, they've now given him a lot of tools to be able to possibly make a resurgence back in the meta because of his basic base health increasing. He's become a really good scaler, and they've actually given him a lot of tools to be able to deal with the stuff that he couldn't deal with before. Being able to activate your E, all of the kiting changes with the more move speed that you get, some of the flat armor. The level 4 tier is really awesome. You can choose Fight or Flight. You get Behemoth armor for more health. So it's going to be a lot tankier, a lot harder to deal with, and you can get an Unstoppable at 20 as well. So I'm really hoping to see what happens in the future when he is able to be played on Tournament Realm, and you're going to see him in possibly some pro games. For sure, I'm going to be wanting to do possibly like a gameplay video or something within the next few weeks in Hero League, because I really want to test him out and also show you guys how he plays now after the rework. Maybe some quick match with the boys, you know, you never know, we'll see. But thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more videos from me and the rest of the boys. See you later.